Hey, 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 Uncle Mark in the mothership with a 3-string shovel guitar in my time of dying. This is going to be a 2-part lesson to play the Led Zeppelin in my time of dying. And this song has 5 parts to it. So I'm going to run through those 5 parts really fast. So part 1. There's part 1. Part 2. Part 3. Part 4. Part 5. Right. So those are the parts, how I define this song. And if you get those parts and work them over and over and over, so the song originally does part 1, then it does part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 2 over, part 3 over, part 1 over. And that's how the whole thing rolls, and there's a jam in the middle of this. So what do we got going on? G, D, G. 42, 34, 24, those are my gauges, and these strings are electric and they're wound. I'm playing through a Roland Minicube, and I will show you those settings at the end of this video and at the end of the other video. So if you haven't seen my Shovel Guitar 101, part 1, 2, and 3, this kind of comes after 3. So if you watch those 3 videos, you are at the exact point you need to be at this lesson. So in my Shovel Guitar 101, I didn't use a pick, and I'm not going to now. I just wanted to show you that. So this is what we are going to work on today, is this. So in my other lesson, the part 2, we worked on this here, here, and here. Well, what do we know what they are? How do we know that? So G, G sharp, A, B flat, B, C. So this B flat and this C are really important. C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. So G is up here, and you just have to feel it in there. So you hear that tone and you try to get that octave, just like this string is an octave from that string. This chord is a octave from that chord. And that's what it would look like here. And you can see through my slide right there. And that's kind of where it's at. And that gives you a bird's eye view through the slide. I made this off a clear bottle so that I could show you what my finger actually looks like when I'm doing this. So this little trick, and we worked on these in the other lessons, we fooled around with that string. We also did a little roll. But with this song, most of what you're going to do is on all 3 strings. There's only one little section where you might use one string, and you could certainly make it chords. So we're just going to use all 3. You're going to start on this B flat here, and you can see that. So let me try to get this shovel so it doesn't move out of my way. And if you notice, this, I'm kind of just rolling around, not rolling, but just sliding around between B flat, A, open, C, and G. So that's a B flat, A, G, A, B flat, C, B flat, A, G, G. And that's kind of the way it works. And you can just use your fingers. And I think of this as just really slow. You know, so if you sing along to it, it makes it a little easier to think about it. So that's how I want you to think of this. And if you want to do it on one string, you can do it on that high E. You can certainly do it on that one string, okay? And that really, really helps a lot. Doing it on one string and then translating it to all three. And I am pressing pretty hard. You can see the strings bend. There's a technique that where you can lift off and have your hands on it and stop the slidey noise. And that's just left hand muting. You just mute with this hand. And stop. Okay? That's a technique that some slide players use. I'm not a big fan of it, but some slide players use it. Doesn't matter what finger you're on. Right? You could even be here if you wanted to. Right? So whatever finger works for you, that's totally fine. After that little part, we're going to do G open to B flat to C. Well, well, well. Okay? So that's all that is. Well, well, well. So, start out. And this is where we do the B flat down. And that's, I'm coming off, right? I'm just letting it go. And you can pluck it again. Do it like so. With a pick, it would look like this. Just kind of letting it go. That's that part, then the... This little move I'm doing is just a technique that I'm taking my thumb. You can see where my thumb is, you can see where the slide is, and you can see me kind of just wiggle on it. And you also see my movement in my arm. It's a nice technique, especially when you're on this G here. And with this, I'm actually using my palm and doing that. So it's a... There are many times playing the shovel where I'm using my palm, like so, Of course, it doesn't matter what finger you use. See, I'm using my palm, and I'm using my palm against the shovel itself. Right? So it doesn't matter. I go back and forth between what I like to use, you know. So and I like sliding into this. This is a really beefy part. Then D, C, Jesus gonna make up my dying bed. So D, G, C, G, B flat, so doing that at speed is a so that's kind of what you're doing. You're just sticking here with this D to C. So it's D, open G, C, open G, B flat, slide out. All right? So there you go. You have the beginnings of this song. And in part 2, we're going to go over some of the other parts, and then we'll marry it all together, and it'll be so awesome. Thank you so much. This is Uncle Mark in the Mothership. I do have a PayPal link here down below. It's a paypal.me/Uncle Mark Tips. $1 a show is all we ask. And I did tell you that I would show you these settings. So let me grab this little cube here, and you can see my settings. So it's a little different than normal. I am on the classic stack. My gain is at 12 o'clock. My reverb is at that 3rd notch there. So look at that. I'm on that classic stack. And so I really like that for this. It's very, very gritty, very deep. Thank you so much for everything you do for me. And part 2 coming right up.